What's going on guys, Peragus here and welcome back to another video on Ghost of Tsushima Legends. Today I want to give you a step-by-step guide on how to beat Chapter 1 and the Tale of Iyo raid that just released on the 30th of October. It's a very challenging raid and I can't wait to see more content like this. I think Sucker Punch absolutely smashed it with this. The one thing I can't wrap my head around is the fact that all of this has been free. The raid itself is broken into 3 chapters, but we're only going to cover Chapter 1 in this video. If you want to see me cover Chapter 2, give this video a like, let's say 10 likes. Let me know in the comments section your thoughts on the new raid. If you could do me a massive favour, hit that subscribe button. With matchmaking currently disabled for the raid, you're going to need to find 3 friends. If you want to find some, then be sure to check out my Discord link in the description below. You're also going to need a gear score of at least 100 to be able to attempt this. With my first playthrough, me and my buddies we had one of each class. 1 assassin, 1 ronin, 1 hunter, 1 samurai. I think we kind of got lucky because we all ended up playing our favourite classes anyway. I don't think it will be crucial, but it will definitely help, and that's to have a decent build. I don't think you can just throw some items together and be able to do this. To give you an example, one of my buddies, Tommy, he had an AoE crowd control hunter that used things like status effects and explosive arrows. This really helped us in some parts of the raid. The raid itself, I'm going to break it down for you into 5 parts, starting with part 1, which is the eggs. Scattered around this first area, there are glowing red eggs. Inside 3 of these eggs there'll be a large white stone called an obelisk. To crack open these eggs you'll need to kill enemies within close proximity of the eggs. Once an enemy is killed, after a short delay the body will blow up, and if they're close enough to the egg will crack. Now each egg needs 2 enemies to die in close proximity for it to be able to open. Once the egg is open, either you or your raid buddies can carry the obelisk to the top of the stairs and you'll find 3 points to where the obelisks need to be placed. It's quite easy to do if you have an assassin on your team with the group vanish ability. This gives you plenty of time to head to the top of the stairs unnoticed to place the obelisks where they need to go. Once all 3 obelisks are placed, the door will open to the next phase. Phase 1, done. At the start of phase 2, this is kind of like a platforming phase. Normally there's not many enemies in this type of phase, it's more of a team coordinated and exploration type of phase. After grappling ahead of phase 1, there'll be a button or a panel, whatever you want to call them, that one teammate will need to stand on. Standing on this button will have platforms appear which your other teammates can use to cross the canyon. Once your teammates are across, they'll need to stand on their panel, letting you regroup with the team. Soon after, you'll come across some floating boulders you'll need to jump across and move to the next area. Remember that just before these boulders begin, if you turn right, there's a small cave you can squeeze into and find an Oni chest. If you've played any of the story missions, you'll know what these chests do. Once you open them, they'll spawn a number of enemies you'll need to defeat in order to claim the treasure. Once this is done, go back to where you came and cross the boulder path. While crossing this path, you'll notice these large moving spherical red orbs. These are called the Eyes of Iyo. Standing inside this area for too long will stun you in place, and if you're stuck in this for too long, maybe about 10 seconds or so, you'll be instantly downed. To break this, you'll need one of your teammates to hit you with a melee attack or a ranged attack. Once you've crossed the path, you'll arrive at the Village of Disciples. Phase 2 complete. The Village of Disciples is broken up into 2 parts. The first one is easy, simply kill all the enemies in the village. It's really that easy. Part 2 is a bit more tricky. If you head to the top of the village you'll find a soul well. This well needs to be filled before you can move on to the next area. You'll know you're in the right place because you can see a very large door at the top of the stairs from the well. To keep the soul well active, one of your teammates will need to stay inside the well while the other 3 players collect the souls to fill up the well. You can do this in either one person stays and the other 3 go, or you can do it in pairs, 2 stay on the well, 2 go out and kill the disciples. Once this phase begins, you'll be attacked by hordes of enemies, and every minute or so, a special enemy will spawn called the Disciple of Iyo. This enemy needs to be killed, and once they're killed, the player responsible will be given a soul to put into the well. Once the soul's been picked up, you'll need to return to the well before the potency of the soul runs out. It shows how long you have left for the soul on the middle left of your screen. Once you are back in the well, you'll need to stand inside and the soul potency will drain. Rinse and repeat this process until the door opens. Take care not to take too long, as Iyo is constantly searching for you, and if you take too long in this area, your screen will start to be taken over by Iyo, and you'll need to start from the beginning of the checkpoint. This is a basic raid mechanic if you've ever done a raid before. It's just to make sure you don't take forever completing objectives, and it creates a sense of urgency. Just to quickly recap, 1 or 2 players protects the well, the other players find and kill the disciples, bring the souls back to the well, fill up the door, proceed to the next area. Easy peasy. Phase 4 is called the Abyss, which is another platforming section with those button panel things, again whatever you want to call them. You'll need to step on them again and of course avoid the pesky eyes of Iyo. This time, 2 players will need to stand on the buttons to create a pathway for the other 2 players. It's pretty much the exact same process as the first area. After completing the Abyss, you'll move on to the next area, which uses the attunement mechanic. To proceed to the final area, you'll need to break the attunement seals. To do this, you need to find the colour that matches its respective totem and destroy it. You'll find green, blue and orange attunement in this section. I should say this though, once you've picked up an attunement, you can no longer see what colour is required to jump to a missing platform. This means one of your friends who isn't attuned to a colour will need to tell everyone else which colour needs to jump first. When all the totems have been destroyed, you can proceed to the final area of the raid. There isn't really much to say about this area, it is pretty simple. I would watch out though because there is a chest in this area. Before you get to the final area, you'll need to cross the broken bridge. This bridge is defended by ghost warriors and more of the eyes of Iyo, so take care when crossing. What me and my friends did when we did it is we went in pairs, 2 stayed behind to cover the ones who went through. But if you have an assassin in your group who has the group vanish ability, you can make it almost 3/4 of the way through without having to worry about the ghost warriors at all. Phase 4 is done. The 5th and final phase is the Crimson Ridge. On this map there are 4 altars which you need to select to receive a challenge. These challenges are different depending on which altar you choose, but it's not specific onto which class you're playing. These challenges can include not using your ranged weapons, not being able to dodge, not using melee attacks, and not using any of your abilities. I should also state that all the challenges make you lose a percentage of your maximum health, so be careful. Once you've completed your challenge, you'll still be under its effects until all 4 players have completed their challenge. If while your challenge is active you're downed for whatever reason, then your challenge will restart. I would recommend some trial and error with this phase, as you don't really want your hunter losing their ability to fire their bow, or your ronin losing their healing abilities. Once all players have completed the challenge, head up the large staircase, run under the large bell and through the Torii gate, and you've just completed chapter 1 of the Tale of Iyo. Just as we're getting towards the end of the video, I just wanted to give a massive shout out to my raid buddies, Dan, David, Tommy, Matt. You've been amazing guys, thanks very much for all the help. If you made it this far in the video, I just want to say thank you so much for sticking around. I hope this helped you in some way, or if you have any questions I'd love to hear them, leave a comment and I'll be sure to reply. Again, if you enjoyed it and want to see me cover chapter 2, give this video a like, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more Ghost of Tsushima Legends. I'll catch you later. Peace!